All right, we got some breaking news. Donald Trump has just nominated Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz to be the Attorney General of the United States, the highest law officer in the land. It is my great honor to announce that Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida is hereby nominated to be the Attorney General of the United States. Matt is a deeply gifted and tenacious attorney trained at the William Mary College of Law who has distinguished himself in Congress through his focus on achieving desperately needed reform at the Department of Justice, blah, 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 blah. The only reason why Matt Gaetz is getting this is because he knows that Matt Gaetz will say and do whatever Donald Trump asks. And just to remind you, the Attorney General of the United States is meant to serve the American people. It is not meant to serve the President of the United States. That is about to end if Matt Gaetz becomes the next Attorney General. But even if he were not, I am not sure whoever Donald Trump were to pick would be much better. I've got a lot of reactions. Here's Chuck Todd with one of the worst saying these confirmation hearings may just save cable TV for the short term. I'm glad Chuck Todd's goddamn interests are in the right place. Jesus Christ, is he really thinking about cable news right now as America is imploding in on itself? Chuck Todd thinks about cable news ratings? Give me a break. And by the way, here is Kevin McCarthy talking about America's potential next Attorney General. And then I have some thoughts about how this could take place. Real quick, I did start a Substack. It's a newsletter that goes to your email once every Sunday. I would really appreciate if you consider subscribing. It is free. There is a paid option, but no pressure to pay. If you can, the link will be in the description. It's called No Lies Detected. I think it's really important now more than ever during the Trump administration 2.0 to make sure that you are getting your content from independent sources. So please consider subscribing, trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by next week. So thanks so much, and back to the video.
And I'll give you the truth why I'm not Speaker. It's because one person, a member of Congress, wanted me to stop an ethics complaint because he slept with a 17-year-old. An ethics complaint that started before I ever became Speaker, and that's illegal, and I'm not going to get in the middle.
Okay, so you might not remember that, but there has been an ethics complaint against Matt Gaetz that he has been going to these sex parties and that he's allegedly has had sex with underage girls. That could be the next Attorney General. And Kevin McCarthy might be on Donald Trump and Matt Gaetz' hit list if he gets Senate confirmed. Now, I am not entirely sure. I've got more reactions here from folks about how this could take place. I'm not entirely sure that Matt Gaetz will get confirmed by the United States Senate. But then again, there are things called recess appointments where you can go past the Senate's checks and balances as President of the United States when Congress is, quote, not in session and nominate cabinet positions. How does that work? Well, let me read this for you. In ordinary circumstances, nominees to many government posts, including cabinet secretaries, ambassadors, federal judges, must undergo a confirmation hearing during which they are questioned by the Senate about their record. That's what Chuck Todd was just talking about. Confirmation in this process requires a simple majority voting to confirm. Recess appointments work differently, and they don't require a vote. The president simply appoints an official of their choice. The idea behind them was that there might arise times when the president needs to appoint someone to keep the federal government functioning while Congress is out of session and recess. You know, at the time, Congress met 9 out of 24 months because travel is totally different back then. There were long stretches where Congress wasn't in session. Power to fill up all vacancies may happen during the recess of the Senate by granting commissions which shall expire at the end of their next session. That's how it's written in the Constitution. Congressional recesses aren't as long as they once were. Now recesses happen in between each congressional session and around holidays. Recess appointments still work the same way, however, and as the text notes, any appointment made during a recess isn't permanent. Presidential appointments made during a recess last to the end of that session, meaning for a period of no more than 2 years. So Matt Gaetz could be Attorney General for 2 years if it's made during a Senate recess. A president can renominate them after that or reappoint them during another recess. And then here's some highlighted text here. In an effort to block recess appointments, The chamber often employs what are known as pro forma sessions. So this is a way in which the Senate could block this move if this is something Trump tries to do. These short meetings in which no real business is conducted means the Senate is never in recess for more than 10 days, preventing the president from making any appointments without the body's consent. A pro forma session can be as simple as one senator gaveling in and then calling the session over. So there would have to be buy-in from the Republican Senate. But if the Republican Senate and Senator John Thune, who's not really MAGA, who just got confirmed earlier today, if he were to go along with this, there's really not a lot the Democrats could do. Here is someone's reaction to Matt Gaetz becoming potentially the next attorney general.
Well, Nicole, if you're not going to be glib, then I will. This is really a vomit in your mouth moment for alumni of the Department of Justice and for people around the United States who care about the rule of law. The Justice Department is the cornerstone of the rule of law in our country. And this nomination reflects the crudest contempt and disrespect for the rule of law, the Department of Justice as an institution, and for the thousands of men and women across this country who every day strive to carry out their mission to represent the people of the United States and the rules of the United States Constitution and bring justice around this country.
Well, it really does feel like throwing up in your mouth. And the thing that's terrifying about this is that this is just the beginning. Donald Trump's not even in power yet. But look at how much more hinged he is that he's pushing through these people who are clearly not qualified. I mean, that's Matt Gaetz, but of course there is the gentleman from yesterday, the Fox News morning host. He's not even a daily host, and Tulsi Gabbard. And here is some context on what that means, what those positions are supposed to do.
Post 9/11, what you do in the intelligence community, at the Department of Defense, at the CIA, at the Department of Justice, at the FBI, is you do all of the things within the FBI and the department that Claire talked about, sort of domestic criminal law enforcement. And obviously those can be incredibly important. They can involve murder and rape and child pornography and the kinds of crimes that everyone listening would find horrendous and have to be prevented and prosecuted. But post 9/11, this is a very dangerous and serious world. It is absolutely imperative that those agencies are operated by experienced adults, people who know what they're doing, who can make this country safe. Part of that is knowing the intelligence community, understanding triage, what are real threats, what are not so real threats, and also being able to build really important relationships with countries around the world, those who are sort of publicly friendly to us and those who are willing to be friendly and provide information, but in a quiet way.
So I believe personally that Donald Trump is setting America up to fail. He wants to put stooges into these positions, knowing they will not do good jobs, hoping that eventually something will slip through the cracks, America will become more dangerous, and then Donald Trump will have to ask for even more power in the executive branch, further eroding the ability for the Senate and for the House to keep check on the executive's power. That is my belief. And then here's Meghan McCain's reaction. She said, "This is an effing joke. If you lost Meghan McCain," and then she retweeted this saying from Jonah Goldberg, "I cannot imagine why someone would vote to confirm Matt Gaetz for host at Red Lobster, never mind Attorney General of the United States." Fred Wellman made a good point on Blue Sky, saying it's all set up. He is flooding the zone with nut jobs and unqualified losers. He knows dipshits like Gaetz won't pass, but forces the Senate to pick and choose what hills they die on, and he's going to sneak through a lot of incompetent loyalists. And Rachel Bittkoffer said, also on Blue Sky, there is one test for Trump's appointments, And that is loyalty to Trump over the Constitution, the rule of law, and our institutions. His picks prove that he plans to do exactly what Orban did. That's Viktor Orban of Hungary, who Donald Trump praises and who he has a bromance with. So this is a very scary time. It's a very scary time, but we have to be clear-eyed and we have to pay attention and we have to make sure that we know what's happening, because if we know what's happening, then we know how to respond adequately. That is for sure. And so also becoming informed also means staying in touch with independent sources. And I did start a Substack. My Substack is available right now. It's free. It's called No Lies Detected. It is keithedwards.substack.com. There will be a link down in the description. I hope you'll subscribe. I'm trying to get 5,000 subscribers. It's free. There's a paid option, but there's no pressure to pay. Just trying to get as many people to sign up as possible. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.